I almost quit PCP air guns. Let me explain. See, CB here. Today, I'm going to show y'all how I air up my tanks for my PCPs. Now, I don't know if it's the right way, the wrong way, but it's the way I've been doing it, and I've been doing it for a long time, and it's been working for me. So stay tuned, let me show you. This is the Yong Heng 4500 PSI air compressor. It will fill my scuba tank up. It's about 6.9 liters, I think is what this one is, in about 20-25 minutes. Well, when you get these, they come pretty much already like you see it, except for the water line. You just have to put the water lines on. You have to screw in your air valve over here, or your air line over there. You have to fill it up with oil. This is the oil I use, Royal Purple. And you fill it up right here. It'll tell you in the directions. You fill it up right there, as you can see, right to where that red is. Always make sure you get it right there where they say. And you change it about, I would say, I normally change mine about every third time I use my compressor. Now this compressor, it also takes water. You have to fill it up with water. I get a 5-gallon bucket, and I normally fill it up to about maybe about 3/4 of the way. It doesn't take too long to fill it up. Normally, I would get maybe a small bag of ice, maybe a gallon-sized bag, and I'd fill it up with ice, and I would put the ice in here. If it's warm outside, you definitely want to do that. That'll keep the temperature down on your air compressor. But today, we're about in the 50s. It's nice and cool out here, so we ain't gonna put no ice in it today. And that'll keep it, it'll stay pretty good throughout the time that the air compressor's running. That's about full, about 3/4. About 3/4 of the way normally is where I put it. Let me take it, bring it over here to the compressor. Like I said, when you get this compressor, it comes with everything. You just have to hook up your water lines. Just thinking what you got. One, just put it down in the water, nothing to it, just put it right in there. And you'll have the pump, a pump to the compressor, and then you'll have your other line, this is your return line. That's what will keep your compressor cool while it's running. Now I'm going to show you. Now it uses a lot of power. I think it's running about 1,800 watts, somewhere around in there. For the size, I put a little kilowatt meter on here, and I was going to show how many watts. When we crank her up, we'll show how many watts that it's using. All right, so now, don't get our water close to that electricity. All right, we got our water running, as you can see, and that keeps it cool. See, the water is real cool today because it's like 50 something, but normally, don't forget, if it's warm, put ice in there. Take and put it in, maybe in a gallon bag, and that'll keep it real cool. All right, let's let it run for just a few seconds, or maybe a minute or so. That'll get your compressor cool. Now, it comes, this is a filter in there, a little cotton filter in there. Now, it comes with this. Now, I don't know if that's all you need or not, but I also have this other oil and water separator. You can get this from Amazon. We'll have a link in it in the description when we get through, but I use both of them, so I guess you can't go wrong if you got two filters. And you sure don't want to get no water in your PCP. There's nothing to it, just fill it up, or hook it up right there. Take this one off. Sometimes they get stuck. That's good. You want them to be tight, 'cause that's a lot of pressure in there. You know what I'm saying? That's 400 or 500 PSI. Make sure your bottle's all closed. Okay. One very important thing. When you turn this on, make sure you got your valves open right here. That keeps from any pressure being on it until it gets warmed up, then you'll cut them on. Now what I like to do is I'll take my cell phone and I'll put a timer on it. When I turn this on and get it going, I'll put a timer on my cell, or put a stopwatch on my cell phone. So let's cut it on. It's gonna be loud now. So let's cut it on. We'll let it run a minute. Always check the water, make sure the water's still going. Now, I'll let it run a little bit. I'll close that one. You can hear the difference in the motor. Now, we'll close this one. Now, it'll start building up air. You can see the gauge is starting to move now. It'll move, it'll get all the way over here into the red. Once it gets over here into the red, we'll take and open that valve on our tank. And then it'll kind of like fluctuate and it'll start airing that tank up. Let's keep still in the green, still in the green. Just takes a second or two. Still in the green. Getting close. Okay. Oh, I just keep a check. That's just what I like to do. I check, make sure the water's still going. Alright, when it gets about right there, what I do is come over here to my tank and I'll open my tank. Start letting the air that the compressor's pushing, start pushing it into the tank. So your bleeder valve's closed. Now, I've cut my stopwatch on, and I'll show you why I like to do that. And I'll come back sometimes when I get started, and I'll take a picture of my gauge was when I started, where it is when I finished. Yeah, it's been about 6.5 minutes or whatever. Normally I wait till about 9 or 10 and I'll come out here and loosen this valve. What this does is let the moisture, I don't know if you can see it, but you see that moisture coming out of there. Let it loose there and then close it back. Let it run. My tank wasn't that low today, so it's probably going to fill it up less than 15 minutes a day. Normally, it takes about 25, and I'll come out here and kind of split it up, let that release that valve, let the moisture out. Very important. You do not want to get water in your PCP. Very important. Do not get water in there. Not enough. Like you see, it's probably pulling, well it is pulling about almost 1,700 watts, especially when it gets warmed up. But now we're not putting the pump in there on that, so it's just kicking off what the actual compressor is. So it's probably running about 1,800 watts. But always just keep a check on the water. Longer. My tank is about full. It's only been about 8 minutes. The tank is about full. We didn't do much shooting yesterday, I guess. Normally it's about 25 minutes on that. Let's let it run just a little bit more. Alright, it's been almost 10 minutes. Like I said, my bottle wasn't that low, so it's about full. Now I'm going to show you how to do this without losing a whole lot of air. You take, while you're closing off your tank, close or or you open your valve on your compressor. You try to do it about the same time so you don't lose much air and your compressor doesn't overheat. You have to do it fast and be loud. Open both valves. Let it run a little bit. Always let it run just a little bit after. The water's still pumping through it, keeping it cool. All right, we'll shut her down. And that's about all it is to it. This filter here has carbon in there, some kind of beads, and cotton. It's supposed to be like an oil and water separator. So I'll put a link in the description for Amazon for that and for the compressor. They might give me a little something, you know, if y'all go through my link and get it. But that's all it is. I mean, this, do not, one more thing, do not touch these metal lines. They are very, very hot. Very, very hot. And always, I watch it. I do not stay close to it while it's running. I might get back off or whatever because it's 4,500 PSI. Anything can happen. One of these hoses could blow or anything. You never know. So I don't stay right up on it when I'm filling it up. But you want to be monitoring it at all times, especially your water. Because the other day I left it and went back while I wasn't even paying attention, and the water had came out. It was running water everywhere. It happens. Luckily, I was right here, I caught it. So you don't want to leave it long. You want to keep your eye on it a little bit, but you don't want to stay right over it. When you're hovering over it like that, I mean, that is 4,500 PSI. When it's up there, that's a lot of pressure. So you don't want to be right there hovering over it all the time. But that's the way I do it. And I've been doing it a long time. This is my second Yong Heng. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I do. You know what I'm saying? But this is my second one. I had the other one for 4 or 5 years, never had a problem. To me, this should be called the Little Miracle, because years ago, when I got into PCP, had the rifle, had the tank, but I didn't really have nowhere to fill the bottle. I had a buddy that had a compressor, but they were so expensive back in the day that, man, everybody couldn't get one. Now you could carry your bottle to a scuba shop, but you had to have a dive card. Well, the only diving I do is in the pond, and I don't know where no scuba shop was, so, you know, I almost had to give it up. And then they come out with this little blue miracle, I call it. It works. It gets the job done. It does, I think I threw this one out, didn't put it in there. It does have its own little thermometer here. You don't want it to go over 65. I never run mine for over 25 minutes. Never have, never will. You can cut it off. If you got to go over that, cut it off, let it rest a while, and then go back. But like I showed you, it's running about 1,800 watts. You got 1,700 on there, and then you probably got another 100 on the water. But is it worth it? You bet you it is. The little blue miracle. If you got one, let me know how you like it in the comments. If you want one, I'll put a link in the description. Go to Amazon. Maybe they'll give me a little something for it if you buy it through there. I don't know. If you're into shooting PCP air rifles and like living that air-powered lifestyle, then go ahead and hit subscribe. We got a lot more real gear reviews coming and a lot more hunts.